Step one, make sure you talk to the right person.
That's it.
Who should I be talking to then directly? Oh, Jeff.
Okay,
what's his cell phone number?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
You need to talk to the real agent.
I'm a real estate investor. I'm sharing everything I know about Subject to in a way that complete beginners understand. This guy is John Pratt, our fearless novice, diving headfirst into the world of Subject to real estate deals. Watch as I start him on the path. I'm your guide, Kyle Kargas, and this is Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. Welcome to Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. Subject to deals or when you buy a property, take over their existing mortgage payments so they can walk away from a house they no longer want, they can't afford, and you never had to go through a bank. Welcome to the show, John. Welcome back.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it.
All right, this series is becoming fire.
Yes, yes.
Right? You are making progress. We have walked everyone through everything that we're doing so far. And so I'm excited about this episode because we're actually going to make this like a progress episode.
Yeah.
Okay?
Huge progress. I mean, they'll see what we do.
Perfect. So what we want to do is I told you, hey, I literally want homework, right? Recorded. I want to see some phone calls. The good news is you booked an appointment.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So you had at least partial success. So we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
So for today's episode, I actually want people to see, I want to be able to give you direct feedback on those phone calls so you can make these small changes and get better and better.
Okay.
Right? And so they're going to be able to see both of us. We're going to put a camera on us, right? It's going to be cool, guys, because we're going to do that live direct feedback.
Yeah.
It's going to be freaking amazing.
Okay. I'm excited.
All right, perfect. So let's jump on over. I'm going to put the cameras on us now and let's watch your homework.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at this homework by John. And what's cool is, guys, I actually have John with me right now. Say what's up, John.
What's happening?
Whoa.
We're both here.
Both here. We are watching this live, commenting kind of back and forth. So stay with me here. I'll try to switch back and forth so you guys can see it and you can get his questions. So let's start the homework now.
All right. We're going to call some agents and just follow up to see what we can see.
All right, first call of the day.
I have no idea what's going to happen. Let's see if
Let's
you got
go,
it.
John. We'll get that audio better on in the future. But this is good. Guys, this is live. Remember that. We're just figuring this stuff out.
Hi, Ghanem. John here at Trust Flow Capital. Just wondering if you got my John at Trust Flow Capital. I sent over a proposal yesterday via email. Sure. My name is John. I sent over a proposal regarding the property on 35th Avenue, the apartment. Just wondering if you got that in your email yesterday.
I like the word proposal, John.
Well, it's sort of like a soft offer. My intent is really a combination of offers. One is a creative offer to take over the mortgage payments for the seller. I know it's been like... Okay, they're... Okay, sure. If you have other listings, I'm always here. If the days on market get too high, you and I'm welcome. You know, I'm interested in having a conversation about other listings. If that's ever an issue for you, I'm happy to talk about that.
I will talk to the seller. If anyone accepts carryback, I will let you know.
Okay, excellent. Hey, Ghanem, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, John. Good job. The first one, I will say, love the word proposal. Okay. I thought you came across very professional. Okay. Which I think is fine. You're going to find your own vibe, right?
Yeah.
Everyone watching. That's the important part. Find your own vibe. You're not just trying to mimic somebody else. Okay. You did great. Now, I will say you gave up really, really quickly.
Okay, where should I have gone?
I thought you presented it well. Hey, I wanted to take over the payments. I actually loved how you worded that as well, rather than saying, hey, making it overcomplicated and saying the word subject to, things like that.
Okay.
Okay. Great job on not saying that. But I thought all the way up to your question was great. And then he says, no, they don't want to do that.
Yeah, and then I got
And
toppled
then-
over by the objection.
And then you didn't try anything else.
Yeah.
Right. So the next step is going to be, what?
Yeah.
Oh, what did they not like about that?
Yeah.
Right?
If they even know about it. Yeah.
Right, because a lot of times if you just take a no right off the bat, a lot of times they might have a misunderstanding of what you're even talking about. They might have an objection that you have an instant answer to, right? That helps them solve that problem. I will say, I think he said they just went on the market.
So how is that possible? Because I filtered for high days on market. It had to have been like 120 days.
Yeah.
But did he say that? He said
I swear I heard he said, hey, we just went on market.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that.
Okay.
If he was, I mean, that might come into a little bit of the
just data.
of
Just bad
data, you know, well, either bad data or what could have been. Sometimes I've seen, right, is that it's been on the market for 180 days, but they took it off the market and they just went back on the market
He's the new
again.
agent.
Right. So it could be that as well. Okay. He could even be the same agent. They're just going back on at a different price. Okay. So all sorts of things could be that. But that could go into lack of motivation. Okay.
It seems to, yeah.
Okay. The guy was
Bottom
not that
line.
motivated. But at the same time, my point still is you didn't really find out why.
Yeah.
Okay. And you could even say when someone says like, oh no, they're not.
Tell me more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Like, yeah, tell me more. Why was that the case? Did it not line up with what their goals are? What are they trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, oh, what do they have going on that made it where that didn't work for them?
Yeah.
Okay. I could give you quite a few different ways to say it.
Yeah.
But the point is still just, hey, why? You can even say for yourself. You could say, oh, for my personal knowledge, I thought that this might be a good fit for what I saw on this house.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I'm just off on something, right? Like what was their reasoning on like why they didn't want to even consider that?
Yeah, you'll even hear me later in different calls. I'll be like something to that effect. I'm like, I try to only send proposals if I think I can actually help. So I'm glad you're telling me this, and then I go into like I dig into more. I might do that in the next one. I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's keep it going.
All right, I'll update that note.
I'm impressed you're taking notes.
Yeah, I would lose track of it. What I'll write in that note. Here's another one.
Hello, this is Deanna Hike with the Rosen team.
Oh, hi. I was looking for Lauren. My name's John at Trust Flow Capital. I sent over a proposal. I'm wondering if you or if Lauren got it regarding the 25th Street property.
25th Street property. Let me take a look.
Sure.
Yep, that's a receptionist. So that's basically got a broker number, and the receptionist answered. So half the goal on this is you want to try to get the agent's cell phone number.
Yeah, it was unit looks like 112.
Did you email to just Lauren or did you email to Jeffrey as well?
You know what? It was just Lauren actually. Is Jeffrey's better?
Yeah.
Okay, so you sent it. Yeah, see, so it's like, hey, which realtor
Okay,
should
yeah,
you really
what's
be
his
talking
email,
to?
if I may?
Mm-hmm. And that's step one.
At rosenteam.com. All right, awesome. How's it going with the listing? I know it's been high days on market. Obviously, I'm an investor. Obviously, I'm looking to make money, but of course, if it's a win-win, that's the only
All
way.
right, so we'll pause this right. This is a waste of time at this point. This is just a receptionist.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not talking to the right person.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
don't
mentioning this, and this.
don't.
She doesn't
Yeah,
care.
she doesn't care. She doesn't know.
Yeah.
Step one, make sure you talk to the right person.
That's it.
That's it. Don't
Just
waste.
get the guy's number, the guy's
Yep.
email.
Yep. If it's like, hey, who should I be talking to then directly? Oh, Jeff. What's his
thanks.
cell phone number?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Boom.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay. And then you call him, and at that point, it's like you're making the call again. Like this call almost didn't
okay.
even matter.
Okay.
Best yet, what you want to try to do is obviously you want to try to get the best phone number you can initially.
Yes.
So you skip trace,
Okay.
right?
Okay. No,
or where'd you get the number for this one?
Just from batch leads. Like, I
okay.
didn't hit the skip trace button. I don't know how batch leads.
Oh no, you don't want to skip trace because this is agent.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
skip trace would get the homeowner's numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so batch leads will give the numbers, and sometimes you get the broker. And this is a great hot tip that we do in our business. I have one of my virtual assistants. They go online and they check Zillow, they check Realtor.com,
To
they
validate
check
the contract.
Homes.com. They're checking like 8 different websites to actually try to get the cell phone number for the agent and make sure that the agent is correct, right? Because batch leads, Deal Sauce, right? All these softwares, they're going to give you the numbers. And I will say, and we'll make sure we put the link in down below for Deal Sauce. I do think the numbers are for the agents are better than what you get with batch leads
interesting.
for the agents. However, you're always going to get bad numbers where you get broker numbers too sometimes.
Now, to scour, for me in this phone call, to go scour Zillow and to go validate the number, it's faster for me to call Beth or whatever her name was.
And I got the number.
Correct.
In this case.
In this case, correct. So,
But would she gatekeep sometimes?
yeah, sometimes for sure. Like a lot of times they'll answer and just be like, okay, hey, what's this about? And some brokerages, they'll even just take the input and be like, yeah, it's available. Oh, go ahead and send an offer. And it's almost like they're gatekeeping and not allowing you to talk to the agent.
Right.
Okay. So you ultimately, I don't really care how. You just need
get
to
the
you
real
need
number.
to talk to the real agent.
Yeah.
What you can decide, see, yours is business is different than mine. It's worth it for me to have my virtual assistant go do the homework to get the right numbers rather than my other cold caller calling and asking for the number.
Yeah.
But for you, it might not be worth it. You might say, hey, I have a phone number here. The fastest way for me is to call, get the broker, just ask for the number, and then I got it, and I didn't have to go look at these 8 sites.
Yeah.
You'll have to find out that for yourself.
Okay.
But you already know from other businesses, data quality matters. And even if you're making calls, but you're calling the wrong person just to get the number for somebody else,
Yeah.
that was extra time you had to spend that didn't really,
Yeah.
it wasn't really a money-making activity yet.
Yeah.
It's really a data activity.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm not quite sure. I would maybe just.
This call might have been like 4 minutes long.
Deanna, awesome. Hey, thank you.
Like a waste of time.
So like if you spent, do you
have a
think
good one.
you could find on the
Bye-bye.
websites and check that
Oh, yeah,
less
yeah.
than 4 to 5
Yeah.
minutes?
Apparently, I can't see very well. You keep seeing me go, oh, what's that number? I have my screen set to a super high
The true
resolution.
John
and
comes
it's a
out.
super
Yeah,
small screen. Oh, I forgot her name. What was her name?
This is all part
I'm
of
gonna
it.
literally stop.
This is all part of it. This
so I
is
can
what
go
your
look
mind
what I
goes
said Her
through.
name was what she said.
Because you want to do a good job.
Deanna. Okay, let's call Jeffrey.
Okay, so this is Jeffrey.
Yeah, this is
Right?
This is the listing.
This is the one you just got. So yeah, I bet if you held the phone more directly
Toward the
towards the
mic.
microphone, we'd get a lot better audio. Voicemail.
Yeah. So I just left a voicemail with this guy.
Okay.
Hi, Jeffrey. John here at Trust Flow Capital. My phone number is 480. Oh, looks like the call failed. So, that's cool.
Typical.
Looking at this with you is like cringe. Like, because this is only my second call or whatever.
Because if I call back,
I go
I don't know
on
if
and
that's
on and
annoying
on.
or
And
what.
like, he needs
But
like.
it looks like I
3
have his
words.
email from
Right.
Deanne.
Yeah, and I wouldn't
The
tell him
email
about creative.
that,
I wouldn't tell him about all that. Why?
Voice
You need to
message
be
is way
there
too long.
live so you can tell him and
email.
answer and get response versus he'll just make a judgment call and just not call you back.
Investor, I don't like
I
him.
will
Correct,
email
correct.
Jeffrey since his voicemail cut me off. I was blathering on. I'll email him and then I'll
true,
start a
man.
new movie recording here. After I got his contact information from Deanna, I reached out to Jeffrey, of course, via that voicemail you just saw, and then via email here, which I'm about to send. It says, hey, Jeffrey, or hi, Jeffrey. My team and I are interested in property. I reached out to Lauren, the email above, and got a hold of Deanna, who gave me your contact.
All right, here we got another audio clip, John. So you already made some calls. What's this one going to be about?
So this is, I think, a week later where I finally reached a certain milestone.
Oh my gosh! So I'm sitting here in my really dark office slash crib, like bedroom.
It's real.
It's real.
Like finally, I got a real appointment scheduled. So I'm having to like get into like content mode here on my phone, but I'm really excited. I've been like pacing the house for the last few, I guess, seconds. But I had gotten an appointment before, but that was because I was boots on the ground talking to an agent, a wonderful agent who was who was hosting the open house. My first appointment that I had successfully scheduled with my closer, with Kyle, was again that agent who was hosting the open house at a house that I know about in my neighborhood, because it was almost a whole tear down. They kept 2 walls because I believe in my city that's the minimum amount of walls you have to keep in order for it to be still considered a remodel by the city. At any rate, total overhaul, and it's been sitting on the market for like almost 200 days. So they had an
Yeah,
open
so
house.
this is
and I'm like,
not
okay,
the appointment that
130
you just
days on
set up.
market,
This is the
150
very
days on
first
market,
one
they're
that
having
you've
an open
set
house.
up.
What's going on? So I went and
That
checked
was
it out.
not a call
And,
situation.
Yeah.
You know, I'm new, so it turned out the appointment that I had set, because I was talking with her about the listing and their needs and stuff. She was a buyer's agent. She was new to town, hosting probably on speculation that she would catch some home buyers to be able to represent them. So that actually did not pan out, but hey, at least I had gotten that on my closer's calendar. This appointment that I just set is a real appointment. Not to say that agent is not real. But my perception of her was that she was a listing agent. Anyway, this agent is a listing agent and is representing that listing. But I took cash offers subject to off of my letter of intent
we'll talk
template
about that.
because I was getting objections regarding the cash offer portion, even though it was all the way at the very bottom of my LOI. It was at the very bottom of my LOI, but that's the number the agents would see, and they would have objections. So it became distracting because my intention was to highlight, and the whole purpose for me is to enter a conversation from the angle of a subject to, because I think that's what helps them the most. So anyway, I took cash offers completely off so that they wouldn't object to a cash offer or a cash proposal. And so I got her on the phone. She's received a lot of sub 2 offers, maybe 5 or 8. She made it seem like, well, I said we can do cash too, or one of us mentioned cash. She was interested in that. She didn't know the numbers because the cash proposal, again, was not in there. So hey, I mean, maybe she'll hate the numbers. I don't know. But she's on the appointment. My closer knows the context. Kyle knows the context that she does not know about these numbers necessarily, but that's what would help her client. So I'm just like so grateful to start really like internalizing and understanding the offer. Because again, I'm new. I'm just setting appointments here. I'm not trying to pretend like I know everything. I'm not trying to pretend like I know everything when I'm on the phone with these listing agents. I'm not trying to pretend I know everything here. I am the resident moron on Moron to Millionaire. So it just feels good to get that appointment. So I got a few more I'm going to call here. That was my first one I called just now in this. It's exciting to get them on the calendar. Who knows what'll happen? I hope they love the numbers and it makes sense for their client. And maybe we can get a deal going here at the beginning of what is now, at the time of this recording, the beginning of 2025.
Wow. John,
That was a lot.
tell us,
That's a lot.
watching yourself.
It's cringe. It's cringe. Because even since it's been a while since we taped the last episode, so seeing myself do that is cringe. Of course, I know it's cringe while I'm doing it. It's part of the growth. And then being with you is like adds to the cringe more because I know that you're like the expert. So it's like
Sure.
I'm way far from where I need to be and way far from where you are. So yeah, definitely cringe.
Right.
But I'm hopeful and glad.
That is the best attitude that you can have, because I will tell you, there's a lot of people watching. That cringe actually stops them. They're like, oh, I suck at this. And then they stop making calls. Or they actually will not allow someone else to listen to their calls because they're so embarrassed of the cringe.
They should be. But they have to like own that.
Own it. And what I loved best was it's a stepping stone in the progress. And so it's totally okay. Open yourself up to criticism and be like, hey, I'm going to take exactly what he said and I'm going to do this and do this. And one, it's going to save you a bunch of time so you can actually make more calls, right? Because when people are trying to do this and they're not getting deals, one, you find out there's a whole lot of wasted time, not just dead time as in they're not actually doing the calls, because that's part of a problem, but it's like, oh, I worked for 4 hours today on making calls, and I find out, well, how many actual calls did you make? Because there's so much time lost in little detail stuff that doesn't matter. Filling in way too much CRM information of how the call went, etc.
They feel like they have to know everything when half that data is going to be flawed anyway. Just ask.
Exactly. Just ask. And the important part is you will learn very, very quickly. The fastest teacher is making the calls. Make the call. Make the call. You're like, that didn't work. I'm going to say it this way. That didn't work. I'm going to say it this way. And then on top of that, I'm giving you the advice. So you can think, okay, cool. Cut these and then keep adjusting and going forward. So that was a great episode. Let alone people's takeaway that this is exactly how they should be doing it. But they really need to get on a team or with somebody that can critique them on the phone. Okay? That's a huge takeaway from this episode. So John, obviously we're trying to fast track you. Right? That's the whole purpose here. But you're the one doing the work. So congratulations and on getting your first real booked appointment. Right? From making calls.
Feels good.
It should.
It means the little machine is working. Now, hopefully it goes farther than just an appointment. And if it doesn't, then I'll learn and push another appointment through.
And one of the last things I'll say, and not to burst your bubble, how many appointments do you think it takes to get a deal?
More than I want to know.
Okay.
No, a lot.
So a couple things. Number one, is on average, it takes 16 touches
Yeah.
to get a deal. Okay? So that's regardless of like whether it's actually an appointment set or not. So with you, it's like, oh, how many touches have you had with this person? Probably 1, maybe 2.
I think, yeah.
Right?
2, yeah.
And then with me, calling would be a 3 if the average is 16, right? So the chances, right, of when I make this call of it immediately being a deal is probably pretty low.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And I'm not mentally riding on this. Like, it won't
Exactly.
wreck my life if this
Yep.
is not a deal.
And you don't want to have what's called one-itis. It's almost impossible for you to not have one-itis right now because you only have one appointment. But the trick here is, and I hope everyone takes this to core, you don't even want to dwell on the one appointment. You
Yeah.
go right back to it, set, as many appointments as you possibly can, not even thinking about how many you've done
Yeah.
and how many, and what that will be the fastest way to keep your focus and not get one-itis, because what will happen to a lot of newbies is they'll call even the first one, hey, so how did that first one go?
Yeah.
And they're so zoomed in.
The outcome is the same if this does or does not work, is I go make more appointments.
Exactly. Because you know statistically it's going to take a lot of appointments, right, to get those deals. Okay. For example, we just did with Pace Morby, we just did a challenge called the No One Left Behind.
Yeah.
We've mentioned it in other episodes, right? And December is always a slower time, right? But that also means that the numbers were slow. So in that challenge, right, I don't have them right in front of me, but I could go over them. But I think it was something like 2,500 LOIs were sent out.
Yeah.
And of those LOIs, I think it was around 300 responses,
Yeah. Which is actually not bad.
which
But
is
yeah,
actually
yeah.
not bad. Ultimately, that came into something like 40 appointments were set. I think 30 of those appointments actually happened.
Yeah.
Because people don't show up for appointments.
Yeah.
Right? And that's actually a pretty high rate. 30 out of 40
Yeah.
is a pretty high rate for show up rate. And then out of that, they got 2 contracts and one of those contracts fell through. Right? So 1 deal.
For
Right?
2,500 emails.
So
yeah.
2,500 emails, but appointments was still 40. So 1 contract out of 40 appointments, right? So hopefully it's better than that most of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Hopefully.
And that's even with a great closer like Pace Morby being the closer. So it's really setting those expectations. I think the second thing I want to make sure you and everybody else gets from this episode is setting your correct expectations, just like you're trying to do with the agent, sellers, everything,
Yeah.
everyone that you interact with. You want to make sure you set the correct expectations with yourself. So you're not getting this emotional roller coaster and not feeling motivated, wanting to stop. It's you set this expectation and then be pleasantly surprised. Work your butt off.
Yeah.
But be pleasantly surprised when things go better or faster than you thought.
Yeah. Huge.
Okay. So, John, thank you so much for being here. Are there any last questions that you need to ask me before we wrap this up?
No, I have a ton more for next episode. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Next episode is going to be amazing. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. See you on the next one.